Cancer diagnosis, it's fucking brutal, isn't it? I mean, it's destroying families, it's isolating, it devastates lives. But when you go to do something about it, the accepted treatments are slash, burn, poison. But what if you could use your mind to fight back? I've seen it happen, and I'm going to take you there. It's what, 2:30 in the afternoon, and if you're like me, I'm usually napping at this time of day, having my little rest eye. So why don't we all just close our eyes first? Just rest and breathe deeply. So before I take you there, let me tell you a little story. I want you to picture a hillside village, peaceful and bright, lots of little lights on at nighttime. You look across the valley and it's like glowworm caves. And there's a family in that hillside village that's just overflowing with love. Laughter comes from their house, and people phone from across the valley to see what's so funny. At night, a woman called Fiona soothes her little boy, who's waking up to nightmares of his family dying. Fiona knew loss too well, having been abandoned as a child and brought up by cruel nuns who took away the toys and shaved their head, never gave any cuddles. She was glad that now, where she was in her life, that she was able to give that love she never had to her little boy. She thought back to when she moved to that hillside village. She saw another young guy when she was about 14 years old playing football in red shorts, and she thought, I'm going to marry him. Everybody open your eyes, take a deep breath, close your eyes. Finally, Fiona had a family. And 35 years later, with 4 children, 3 grandchildren, people still called on the landline to say, what is going on? What is so funny in your house? Having the family around every Sunday was so valuable. But Stephen, this man that she married, still worked too hard. He worked 12 hours every single day just to provide for that family. One day, in excruciating pain, Stephen turned to Fiona, call an ambulance. Fiona called her son, who at that moment had been having a dream where he was in space. And in that dream, he met the angel of death who said, I'm coming for your father. This was one nightmare that when he was awoken by his mother, she wasn't able to soothe him from. That boy had grown up fearing death, and so had pursued an education in herbs and natural medicine, thinking, if it comes for my family, I'll be ready. He treated successfully his mother's incurable health conditions, so that the doctors were perplexed at their sudden disappearances. Heart conditioned, physical ailments, structural things. So Fiona's children all rushed to the ER to meet their mum there and reassure her that, Dad, he's going to be okay. And after some time there and some tests, a beautiful woman covered in gold earrings, gold necklaces, gold rings, with long nails, was clicking the back of her iPhone. Fiona, can you come with me, please? She led Fiona and the children to a small room. Stephen was in there. And as Fiona walked towards that small room, she realized what it meant. Her soul started screaming. It reminded her of when she was a young child and bad things used to happen. She left her body and floated above. Everything went blurry. It's stage 4 cancer. His bowel is completely blocked. He's going to die. She couldn't hear what was going on. She couldn't understand. She felt tears going down her face, but she didn't remember crying. She heard a childlike voice coming out of her mouth, begging the doctors to please do something. I've been with him since I was 14. She looked around and saw the shocked expression on her children's faces, her husband white like a ghost. Until one moment, she looked at her middle son, who was staring at his dad in his eyes, and he says, Dad, In my world, people recover from stage 4 cancer all the time, and I know how they do it. She felt immediately soothed. She felt that he was certain. There was something about his voice. It gave her the one thing that she needed in that moment: hope. Let me introduce Fiona's middle son. Open your eyes. That boy was me. And that moment shaped everything that I do. I'm Daryl from darylgove.com, and I've spent over 13 years turning this hope into healing through hypnosis. You know, I've been fascinated by hypnosis since I was 10 years old. I used to have all my friends lying down on the floor, and I'd take them through healing journeys where I'd take them into caves to find secret messages from their subconscious. And then taking that as a career, I've been teaching it for, 10 years now is when I first started. So first teaching at the New Zealand School of Professional Hypnotherapy before moving to the Integrative Hypnotherapy Institute. Or you might know me as the creator of the Hypnotic Prayer Workshop or Medical Hypnosis course in New Zealand. To this field of hypnotherapy, I bring 23 years in the natural health industry, including training as a naturopath and medical herbalist. My passion is chronic health challenges, including cancer. I'm really, really committed to normalizing hypnosis as a tool that we can use to help people with their cancer journey. And I really hope that you're going to learn something today that's going to help transform how you approach this in your life. Now, I'm guessing there's not a person here who hasn't been touched by cancer or death or some kind of terminal disease. It touches us all, but today we're going to explore it from a positive angle, how hypnosis can help. Because through the tragic and sudden losses that I've had in my life, I've learned that if you can give meaning to something, it can transform it, it can take away the trauma. I really, truly believe the solution to any kind of trauma is meaning, to give your life meaning. And so that's what I'm trying to do here today, using hypnosis. Okay. So let's start with a little trance, shall we? Because again, I'm aware that it's the time of day, we've been listening all day, and I want you to relax. And then after we do that, I'm going to get into my talk, Hypnosis and Cancer, Empowering the Body's Healing Potential, where you are going to learn how to activate the body's healing mechanisms, how to support immune function, and how to build a mindset that helps recovery. Okay, so if you'd like to close your eyes again, guys, just relax. Isn't it nice just to spend so much time here with your eyes closed? And then for those of you that just need to have a nap, you just can do that and I won't know. Okay. So feeling relaxed, I just want you to go to your safe place in your mind. If you're a hypnotherapist, you've already got a safe place. And if you're not, just think of somewhere in your life where you felt incredibly safe. Where's somewhere you've been, a holiday, at your grandmother's house? Maybe it's just tucked up in bed. I want you to remember how you feel when you're there. What does your body feel like when your body feels safe? And in this safe place, I just want you to scan your body for any aches or any pains. I want you to notice if there's any black smudges or black dots. If you get a sense that there's any place in your body that's not quite in focus. And if it's all glowing and smooth and bright, amazing. That's exactly what we want. Now, relaxing and just taking a deep breath, and as you breathe out, just let go of anything from outside the room, anything that you don't need to bring with you here, because you're in your safe place where you feel good. And someone or something that you trust very much is about to appear to you. Just imagine it. Just make it up. Just have an angel, a loved one that's passed, your best friend, whoever it is that you really trust, have them with you now. Just imagine they're there. What's that like? Now, they're here for a reason, but we're going to take you somewhere. Over in the distance, up on that hill, there's a really old house. It's a little bit creepy. It's dusty. You can see that nobody's lived in it for a long time. But the windows are all still intact, albeit covered in cobwebs. So this guide, whoever it is, comes with you and takes you to the front of this house. And as you enter, you smell the dust, you hear the floorboards creaking. And you start to walk up the stairs. 1, 2, take a deep breath. 3, 4, relaxing and feeling safe as you go up the stairs. 5, 6, take a deep breath. 7, 8, 9, 10. The top of the stairs, there's a long corridor. It's all dark again. There's not really any natural light or any artificial light, but somehow you can see where you're going as you walk down that corridor. Your guide is with you, so even if you feel it's a little bit creepy, you are safe, I promise you. Follow me. At the end of that corridor, there are steps going up into an attic. I want you to take them. 1, 2, take a deep breath. 3, that's good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you enter the attic, it's empty. All there is on the floor is dust. And in the corner, there's a cupboard, just a little bit open. You're perfectly safe. Even if it feels a little bit creepy, you have your guide there with you. So I want you to go towards that cupboard and open the door. What you see in there is your self-image. It's how you see yourself now. Take a look at it. What's it like? Is it bright and sunny and cheerful? Or is it a little bit tired and dusty with cobwebs on it? Just notice. This is not where your self-image belongs. Even if it's looking amazing, and I really hope that it is, but even if it's beautiful and bright, I want you to grab that self-image and just take it down the stairs. With your guide, come on, take it, just grab it however you grab it. Maybe you lift it up and just take it downstairs, out of the house and into the garden. And out in the garden, oh my gosh, it is the most beautiful garden that you have ever seen in your life. There's so many colors. The sun is so bright, but there's the perfect amount of shade. It's glorious with the reds and the blues and the greens, every color of the rainbow. If you like butterflies and birds, they're there. Angels can be singing. Make it however you like. This is a magical garden. This is where your self-image belongs. It belongs in the light. And I want you just to let the sun wash through your body heals when you allow light into your cells, respond to the vibrational energy of the universes all around you. Just grab it. See yourself with every cell cleansed and clean, and whole things and whole worlds collide. But you can change how you feel about everything in your life happens for this thing that you do now. Washing your self-image with light and leaving it here in the sun can be a very powerful thing. You belong in the light. Any fear, any black spots, wash them away with the sun. You belong in the light. This is where your self-image belongs. And if you can find a nice place in this garden to keep it, why don't you go ahead and do that? And make a decision to leave it there. And at any point in the future, if you find yourself a little bit achy or you notice that image has slipped, go ahead on into that house, grab it out, and put it out here in the sun, in the light. And once you've done that, why don't you just go back to your safe place, come back to the room in your own time, and open your eyes. Who's feeling quite nice after that? A few people. You know, you might not know it, but you have already improved your immune systems. And I'll bet that you're maybe motivated to move towards that image a little bit in your life of health. Would that be right? So let's say when somebody comes to my clinic, they maybe don't have that image in their mind. They've maybe got quite a different scenario, especially if they've had a cancer diagnosis. So if this is up to you this time, I'm not going to make you sleep the whole time. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever suits you for this next part of the talk. I want you to picture your body as a mighty fortress, okay? Your immune system is its army. Tower guards are watching, keeping an eye from above, and scouts are spotting threats. Workers are repairing damage. Anything that comes into this tower, into this fortress that's non-self, is immediately spotted by the tower guards and the scouts and taken care of. And normally, this army is sharp, right? It knows exactly what it's doing. And if cancer was to come along towards the fortress, it would easily be seen because they carry these big red flags that says non-self, non-self, I don't belong here. But when we are stressed, it is like a storm has closed in. It can be quite refreshing from time to time. And this storm can make it a little bit easier for some cancer to sneak past those guards. You see, stress cloaks cancer in like a fog that makes it hard for your T cells, your tower guards, to spot them. And it makes it hard for the natural killer cells, the knights, to see them as well. This causes what we call a surveillance failure. These guards can struggle to spot the red flags and accidentally let them slip by unnoticed. Stress can also rust the swords of your tower guards. So even if the tower guards spot them and go to fight, the weapons can break and not work. Stress can be like lightning strikes all through your body, like lightning strikes all through the castle, setting fires of inflammation. So your workers and your guards are running around putting out fires, and they're not noticing all the cancer coming in the back door. By the time cancer is diagnosed and there's a big tumor there, the fortress is overrun, and your army is in the keep bracing for the last stand. But if stress is like a storm, hypnosis is like having a magical wand, your secret weapon to reclaim the fortress. It could help with detection. Hypnosis might be able to strip away stress's camouflage, a wave of the wand highlighting those red flags, empowering your T cells and your natural killer cells, your guards, to spot the cancer and do something about it. It could help with attack. Picture McGonagall shouting, "Expelliarmus," while Dumbledore apparates new non-rusted weapons into the hands of your fighters, letting them attack effectively. It could help with the fires. Hypnosis can help slowly put out those fires that the lightning strikes have started, so that the defenders aren't too tired from all the putting out the fires and they can actually focus on their job. With my clients, I like to find a metaphor that's meaningful for them, that I can use to describe their immune system. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. What I want them to know is that when they spend time in hypnosis, they're helping it. They're helping their immune system, and they are being actively involved in the fight against cancer. Think this is all fantasy? Let's look at the science. Stress attacks the fortress. Hypnosis defends it. We all know that when we're massively stressed, that our immune system can take a dive. How many times have you been through a long period of stress and then boom, sick? Or maybe you know somebody who gets a cancer diagnosis several years after a traumatic event. There might be a reason why. This could be the relationship between stress and cortisol. By now, we all know the fight or flight response. We all know that we get activated when we're stressed. Part of this is the release of cortisol to get energy. Another thing that cortisol is going to do is if you have an injury and your body wants to rush white blood cells to that area to repair it, it can overdo it, and it can actually cause more injury than the initial damage. So cortisol comes along, it's your friend. We love cortisol. It comes along to temper that. But if you have got chronic, long-standing stress, constantly in stress, cortisol's completely there, well, it's going to be a problem. Cortisol can turn off the ability of T cells to attack. That's your tower guards. We've got mechanisms when we are stressed to stop our immune system from attacking our own healthy cells. And cancer exploits this by telling your cells, your tarot cards, hey, I'm safe, just leave me alone. It's like somebody coming in and giving you a handshake, but they've got a knife behind their back. It's like, we talked about cooling inflammation. When cortisol is around too long, it no longer does its job of balancing immunity. In fact, it rebounds, and we're going to have even more inflammation. So all your immune cells and your guards are going to be more tired. The defenses will be weaker. Have you seen people age quickly under stress? Yeah. You know, I had sudden death a few years ago, and I just got a shock of white, just like straight like that. Have you seen that kind of thing? Yeah. We all know that that happens. It happens to your immune cells as well. Your immune cells age more quickly when you're under stress. That makes them less able to fight. Studies show that stress reduces the activity of your natural killer cells. It reduces the activity of your knights. Now, these are critical for directly attacking cancer cells. Stress hormones directly suppress their activity. Stress also causes wear and tear through oxidative stress. You know about antioxidants? Stress is a pro-oxidant. It's going to cause oxidation. Think weapons rusting. At its worst, it can lead to DNA mutations that could initiate or accelerate cancer. Too much stress leaves us vulnerable to attack. Not necessarily going to cause it, but it opens up vulnerability. So we get the picture here, right? Chronic stress equals high cortisol, equals weakened immune response, equals increased vulnerability to cancer. But what happens if these pressures on your immune system, on your body from stress, continue for a long period of time, over years and years even? What happens when stress causes cortisol to constantly suppress your immune system? Could it lead to cancer growth? Could it let an opportunistic cancer grow more effectively? Without an effective immune system, it's chaos. Think HIV/AIDS or somebody with an organ transplant and they're on immune suppression medication. Without an effective immune system, cells can grow out of control, spreading through the body unchecked. Cancer can strike anywhere: breast, prostate, lungs, lymph, blood. You know, we all carry cancer all the time. This is the thing for me that makes me totally not scared of cancer. Like, we all have it all the time. We all have random genetic mutations that the body usually just takes care of. But what takes care of it when these mutations happen normally? Your immune system. It's our line of defense against non-self. It's our line of defense against cancer. What heals you when you're sick? Your immune system. What repairs wounds after surgery? Your immune system. Exactly. What mops up dead cells after chemo or radiation? Immune system. If you're going to recover from cancer, you want your immune system working effectively. Now, of course, cancer isn't just about stress, and stress isn't the only thing that impacts your immune system. A vacation in Chernobyl will tell you that. Even cancer treatments, if life-saving, can hammer your immune system. Chemo, for example, doesn't just target cancer. It can wipe out your foot soldiers, your neutrophils. There's a study by Kurder et al. In 2006 that showed that chemotherapy wiped out up to 50% of neutrophils in the body. Now, this study, along with every study that I cite, there's over 40, I've got in printouts here if anybody wants to look, and I'm going to give you access to those after the talk. Oh, yeah. So you can go and check out for yourself any of this stuff that I'm talking about. Because cancer, it's a complex disease, okay? We know it's influenced by genetics, environment, cellular changes, genetic mutations, smoking, chemicals, maybe UV rays, random errors, viruses, and even medication. Kept in check by our immune system, it's okay. But if rogue cells dodge the normal cycle of death and start to grow tumors, then we have a problem. If your immune system fails, cancer wins. So if your immune system is key, how do we support it with hypnosis? Stress weakens immunity, letting cancer sneak in. Hypnosis reverses this. Let's explore how. And first, sorry guys, hypnosis is not a cure. There's no data saying that, and I'm not here to sell you that. A wizard can empower an army, but it can't do the fighting for it. But hypnosis does help. Hypnosis reduces stress and boosts your immune system by using the mind-body connection where thoughts and emotions affect your body's defenses. Your mind is your mental states made up of your thoughts, your beliefs, and this connects to your body through your brain, your nervous system, and your hormones. And this is reflected through the connection, which is your immune system, and it's going to mirror your mental state. So what's the mechanism for this mind-body connection that we could influence as hypnotherapists to help with cancer? Hypnosis and mindfulness are both powerful tools. So we know hypnosis and we know mindfulness, two powerful tools, and they utilize similar approaches, don't they? Like focused attention and relaxation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draw on research from both so that we can explain their effects through science, and we're going to build a strong case for their impact on immune function. Neuroscience and psychoneuroimmunology reveal that these practices of mindfulness and hypnosis work in several interconnected ways to improve your immune system. When you begin a hypnosis session, immediate physiological changes occur. You've all felt it. You start to feel relaxed, the breathing changes. This creates a cascade of benefits that are going to flow logically from feeling more relaxed to an improved immune system. When using hypnosis, stress reduces. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated, shifting from fight or flight to rest and digest. This promotes recovery. It promotes regeneration. Anthony et al. In 2006 showed that self-guided relaxation, so self-hypnosis, lowers stress hormones. A 2014 study by Black and Slavich confirmed that while chronic stress weakens immunity, interventions like hypnosis can restore the balance. When meditating, cortisol levels drop. And the immune system improves. I'm just keeping an eye on my time so I don't take you over. There we go. When you meditate, cortisol drops. Lowering the stress hormone cortisol allows your immune system to function optimally. It counters the disruptive effect of stress on your nervous system. Natural killer cells, these are your knights, vital for fighting infections and cancer. They increase in activity. They increase in activity when you do hypnosis. T cells, your tower guards, become more effective at seeking out and destroying rogue cells. Black et al. In 2003 reported lower cortisol and higher T cell counts in cancer patients with 8 weeks of mindfulness. Another study, Carson et al. In the same year, did another 8-week study on patients with breast and prostate cancer, and they found similar things: lower cortisol, higher T cell. Inflammation is also mediated more effectively with hypnosis. Rushan Sharma in 2016 completed a systematic review of 13 different studies on mindfulness and hypnosis. And what they showed was improved natural killer cell, that's your knights activity, and reduced inflammation. In one of those studies, inflammation in the body was reduced with just 4 weeks of hypnosis. Now, this all involves reducing pro-inflammatory cytokines and blah, blah, blah. But in a nutshell, hypnosis stops the lightning. Not instantly, but there's a gradual effect. Are you convinced that hypnosis might be able to help? Get in there? Well, it gets even better, because hypnosis and mindfulness might be able to increase slow wave sleep by up to 80%. This is the type of sleep that boosts your T cell function, enhances natural killer cell activity, regulates cytokines, improves immune memory, and supports human growth hormones. And it gets even better still. If you do mindfulness or hypnosis regularly, neuroplastic changes start to happen. Your prefrontal cortex, amygdala, and insula start to change. Zhang et al. In 2017 showed through an MRI study that hypnosis boosts prefrontal cortex activity. What this is going to do is change your ability to self-regulate. It's going to make you calmer under stress. This is what you need if you want a recovery mindset. It's going to help you be more relaxed. It's going to help all the other stuff that you're doing for your immune system work more effective, and the effects are cumulative. The more you do it, the more your brain changes, the more your amygdala calms down, the more your insula is able to be aware of what's happening in your body. Your interoception improves. Davidson et al. And Desbordes et al., 2003, 2012, found that these practices reduced amygdala activity, allowing for the mitigation of immune-suppressing stress. Now, if you want to read more about these, I'll leave you to go and read them. After this, I'll give you a link where you can all download them. The evidence is compelling. Dozens of studies I reviewed on mindfulness, hypnosis, and stress reductions showed consistent immune benefits. To add to this, a 2018 study by Gertsen and Band found that deep breathing alone can lower cortisol and inflammatory markers within minutes. Let's give it a breath. Hold it for a bit. And breathe out slowly. There you go. Just lowered your cortisol. So we're all going to be super healthy after Fabian's talk later. Our cortisol is going to be going down. Look, in a nutshell, help. I'm in a nutshell. Where do you get a nutshell of this size so big for me to fit in? Hypnosis and mindfulness reduces stress. It strengthens your immune system. And this is key for coping with challenges like cancer. The science backs it, and I've seen it work. If I ever face cancer, I will use hypnosis to give my body every chance to fight. Two people who saw the value in this were Andrea and Cara. But before I tell you about them, it is the afternoon, and I know that we're all tired, so everybody get up. And you don't have to, it's optional. And let's do some wiggling. And there is a prize for the best wiggler. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. If anybody wants to go and get a cup of tea, I'm not offended. If you need to pee, if you need to walk around. Okay, and we have a winner. There we go. And cool. So Andrea had breast cancer. She was an alternative therapist, and she did not want orthodox treatment. Whatever she chose to do, I knew that hypnosis could be helpful for her. As hypnotherapists, we have powerful tools, but they demand strict ethical and legal responsibilities. Our job is to complement medical care and not to replace it. We target symptom relief, we reduce stress, we manage pain and nausea, and we boost mental resilience. I was upfront telling her hypnosis is not a cure for cancer, but it can enhance your well-being. It can ease your discomfort and potentially support any treatment journey that you go on. Montgomery et al. 2007 confirms that hypnosis reduced the severity of chemonausea by 50%. I let Andrea know that I would work side whatever choice that she made, along with her medical team, to make sure I could do it safely. I let her know that I would stay within my scope of practice by making whichever option she chose easier. This helped build a recovery mindset where she was able to do what she wanted. Now, I knew that Andrea didn't feel in control, and the option to refuse medical treatment was one of her way of being in control. I also knew that feeling in control is important to your immune system. It's also important, of course, for having that mindset for recovery. A study by Louden-Slager et al. In 1983 found that rats exposed to uncontrollable stress had suppressed lymphocytes, that's their white blood cells, and their tumor growth was worse. But they also had high cortisol. This was reversed when they had a measure of control over the stress. This backed up a previous study, I think from 1967, where they showed that perceived control can reverse immune suppression. Because a sense of control reduces inflammation, activates the parasympathetic. You feel safe. And it enhances immune cell function. This creates a positive feedback loop that's going to help with healing. I let Andrea know that hypnosis could help her manage stress and feel more in control. And that's exactly what we did. We took away her fear of surgery, chemo, and radiation so that she could choose an option for her based out of logic and not out of emotion. In the end, using executive state identification as a kind of conversational parts therapy, we helped her look at the different parts of her, and she made a choice to have surgery, but not to have chemo and radiation. She's really happy with her decision. She removed the lump and she's happy, healthy, and she's reported that she's clear, but we don't know unless there are further tests in the future. In the end, if you want to look more into the ethics of this, let me show you what I've got, because we want to be really careful here. I've got a module from last year's medical hypnosis course. In this, there's a big section on ethics and your legal responsibilities involving cancer. So I've got a link for you to download and give them to Justine as well. So you can all make sure if you're going to work with anybody with cancer, you stay within your scope of practice and you follow the law and ethics. Cool. Now, my client Cara had a really scary cancer and she could not face the surgery that she had to have. She was terrified and she kept putting the surgery off over and over and over. I asked her that most important question I ask anybody that gets a cancer diagnosis in my clinic is, do you want to live? Do you want to live? Because if you don't, why bother doing anything? Why bother doing any treatment at all? If they don't want to live, well, that's where your work is, right? We can help them with that. Yeah, exactly. It is. It's some people are like, yeah, well, why am I putting myself through this if I don't even want to be here? And unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why people give up. The journey's long, they put their family through a lot of stress, or that's how they feel, and they just want to go. We need to help these people see the value in their life and help them want to live. With Cara, we did the same. We removed fear. I grounded her in safety. We used walking hypnosis so she'd listen while she went for her walks. We reconnected her with nature and with her spirituality. We strengthened her ego because as well as wanting to live, you also have to feel like you deserve it. And she didn't. She was racked with guilt and shame and anger from trauma and a lifetime of things happening to her. So we worked on all those emotions and cleared them. And after 3 sessions, she was thriving. What Cara enjoyed the most was when, in connection with her spiritual beliefs, she was Christian, I created an anchor for deep hypnosis. And what I would do is take her into really deep trances in the sessions. And then midway through a really long trance, I'll come and kick the chair like that, bring her back a little bit, and then we deliver a prayer. She will pray to God in hypnosis. And what we'd do is we'd ask God to fix the cancer in the immune system in hypnosis. Shall I show you? Shall I show you about that? Okay. Yeah. Now, no, the trance. It's a really good thing to do if you want to, if people are going too deep and they're starting to snore, just give the chair, but warn them you're going to do it in advance. Okay, so just taking the time. Okay, in this hypnosis, I'm just going to do a short version. It's usually at least 45 minutes long, okay? And that would take my whole time. So I'm just going to do a short version. I'm going to use immune jargon, but as I tell my clients, you don't need to understand it. Your subconscious will understand, okay? When I say God or source or whoever I say in it, pray to whoever you pray to. If you don't pray, you can talk to your body. You can talk to your DNA, okay? Just change it. I always tell my clients, change the hypnosis to suit you. If I suggest something over here, but you prefer to be over there, go there. Trust your subconscious. Okay, close your eyes. And I won't kick anybody's chair, don't worry. You can feel safe with that. Now, I want you just to take a deep breath and just really relax. And before we instruct your body exactly what I want you to do, I just want you to become as comfortable as you can. I want you to be so profoundly relaxed that your very cells will listen to my words, that your mitochondria will hear your desires, that your DNA will be inspired. Open your eyes, take a deep breath, close your eyes. And in this space of relaxation, I want you just to imagine a beautiful room full of buttons and dials, the control room of your mind. Many of you will know this metaphor. Make it there. However you imagine a control room, let it be there. What needs to happen for you to be in the control room of your mind? Now, if there's a dial for stress, turn it down. If there's a dial for confidence, turn it up. There's a dial for sleep, set it on a timer so you can sleep a deep and healing sleep every night. Because your body is designed to heal. It's designed to heal in ways that you can't even imagine. And even though you can see your body healing, you don't know exactly how it works, but you can trust it. And this happens when you sleep. And whatever healing methods that your mind uses, exactly what it needs to make you whole, healthy, and healed people. Allow all the trauma just to evaporate, the stress just to leave your body, and the most beautiful divine power of your cells are resonating at a higher frequency. Beautiful light has already swirled around them, and you are whole, and moving towards health is your birthright. You deserve it, and you must have it, and you move towards it, and you can feel it, and you attract it, and you're bringing it to you, and you're bringing it to you, and you pull it in, and you pull it in, and you pull it in, and you pull it in. Health is yours to have. Just reach out and grab it. Your body is telling you it's time, and time is telling you to relax, relax deeply. And from this control room, you can leave your subconscious switching whatever dials and buttons it needs to do. You don't even need to know. You can trust your subconscious. But find somewhere to relax, and don't go too deep. I won't kick your chair, but I'll knock. I want you to reach out to whoever you reach out to spiritually, God, your body, divine creator. I thank you for coming here in this place. I thank you for the healing that you have given me, that you have promised me. And I don't know exactly how the healing happens, but as I move into my healed body, I expect that I will see enhanced immune surveillance. My immune cells are becoming more effective at recognizing and targeting cancer cells. For this, I give thanks. As I heal, I declare that my body will see the restoration of cytotoxic T cell function. My tower guards reactivated, energized, successfully identifying and eliminating cancer cells. My body has more effective nights, natural killer cell activity, effectively recognizing and destroying. For this, I give thanks. As I heal, my body thrives with improved B cell response and antibody production. My archers fire arrows that accurately tag cancer cells with red flags for destruction. For this, I give thanks. Taking a moment to be at peace, connecting with the source of all creation, the source of all of your health. Your body celebrates the reestablishment of apoptosis pathways, quiet assassins promoting the death of abnormal cells. Your body feels safe with effective cell cycle checkpoints. You're now properly functioning fortress gates halt the division of damaged cells. Your body allows the perfect inhibition of angiogenesis. Your army blocks off supplies and lays siege to enemy camps to starve them out, cutting off blood supply to tumors and restricting their growth. And this image that you have of yourself, you can allow it with supreme gratitude and trust to be the most healthy you have ever seen in ways that you can know and in ways that you don't know yet, but you can trust. And you can be grateful for all the healing you have ever experienced in your life, and the healing that you will experience, and the healing that you are experiencing now. And in place of all the old images of you, there is now a single image, a divine version of yourself, full of light and singing with health. The image that you took out of the cupboard and placed in the sun. And this image heals under the divine gaze. Any wound, any scar, healed. Any trauma, any damage, healed. Any unforgiveness, healed. Any anger, any frustration, healed. Any sadness, healed. Any bitterness, healed. Any jealousy or envy, healed. Any pain, healed. Any loneliness, healed. Any regret, healed. Any insecurity, healed. Any despair, healed. Any embarrassment, healed. Any guilt, healed. Any shame, healed. Any negative emotion, healed. And in place of all of these emotions is a new divine peace. You declare it, a divine peace and growing wisdom, a sense of what it feels like, what it is like to be whole, to be holy, to be healed. To be whole, any hole that's in your soul is filled with light. And you no longer need to think about old things in old ways, but you can think about the past in new ways from a stronger perspective. And as you rest by that light and feel the peace, you realize that it's natural to be at peace. It's natural to feel peace. It's who you are. You are and have always been a being of peace and love. So now, that light of love and healing is going to wash through you, and nothing can stop it. Whoosh! Imagine that light just rushing through your cell, every cell in your body, washing with light. Whoosh! Let light go through every fiber, every muscle, every organ, every gland, clearing, cleansing. Feel that light. Let it clean out emotions. Whoosh! Through your emotions, through your body, through your mind, through your thoughts, through your present, through your past. Let it cleanse you. Allow yourself to feel whole. Allow yourself to feel clear. Let that light swirl within you. Physically feel it moving in your stomach, in your chest, up and down from your feet to your head. And that light never stops. Once you are connected to the divine, whether it's to your higher self, to the source of all creation, you can never be disconnected again. And this light will continue to pour through you, healing you every day and every night as you sleep. And when you know that you're plugged in to that divine healing, bring it back with you. Keep the feeling and open your eyes. How you guys feeling? Feel that? You know, that sense of peace or that sense of energy, that's what I wanted my dad to feel when I did a hypnosis session for him. So let me take you back to that hillside village. Okay, so my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And at that time, I was in naturopathy school, and I was surrounded by healers who'd already overcome their terminal illness or their chronic health challenges. Together, we built a holistic plan that included many modalities with oncologists, integrative oncologists, herbalists, naturopaths, you name it. I used hypnotherapy. My role and my scope of practice was to work to ease his pain. I worked on clearing emotional blocks and visualizing himself healed. But my dad says, Daryl, no, I don't want those knights attacking my cancer cells. Can't you just tell them to turn back into normal cells? So that's what we did. We told them to turn back into normal cells. The results were incredible. In just 2 weeks, it was reported that his tumor had shrunk by 2 inches. Further, when they did a biopsy, they couldn't find any cancer cells in it. They found free cancer cells. It looked like we were winning. We didn't know it at the time as we celebrated the laughter continuing, but a medical procedure had already punctured his bowel. When your bowel perforates, the contents leak into the normally sterile peritoneal cavity, and this triggers a strong inflammatory response. Fluid, pus, and bowel contents quickly lead to sepsis and death. By the time it was found, they said he should already be dead. They gave him 2 days to live. But guess what? 2 weeks later, my dad and my mom are walking along the beach, 5 kilometers to my home, sitting down for a chat. And that night, we all went out and danced at my niece's 8th birthday. They went home that night, and I had another nightmare. The angel of death came to me. She says, coming for your dad. I woke to the phone ringing again. It was my mum. Daryl, you better come now. My dad's mind could no longer hold his body together. His veins collapsed, and he died while my mum sang a song to him that she'd prepared for the next day, which was to be their 36th wedding anniversary. You know, hypnosis didn't cure my dad, but it helped him put up a bloody good fight. It gave him at least a couple more weeks with his family, and these were weeks without the fog of pain medication, where he was able to be active. I believe that hypnosis helped with inflammation and helped him survive that extra time. And I believe it had a role in that tumor going down. But we don't know. So thanks to all of this, I have poured everything in my life to work. 10 years later, I'm still working on cancer. I'm still working with hypnosis. And I poured everything into a course that I would like to share with you. But first, just about out of time. Oh, these ones, I think. Oh, yeah, is that the same ones? Plus those there. I feel like at church, when you ask for donations and things like that. If any, it's a Scottish thing to put in sweetie wrappers instead of instead of money. So everybody, I want you to take if you can all take a card. On the back, you'll see 2 QR codes, okay? The one on the left has got access to resources. So I've got the module from my medical hypnosis course. It's one of the cancer modules. So it has a couple of scripts in there. It's got the ethics and the legalities in there for you. So take a read of that. Also giving you a copy of an ebook. This is how to understand, reduce, and eliminate back pain. So this is a new program I've just launched. We need a few people to test trial it, by the way. Get in touch if you know someone with back pain. In there is going to be a list of 10 behavioral things. No, man, gosh sake. 10 behavioral things proven to boost the immune system. This is homework I gave to Andrea and Cara. I give to all my cancer clients, okay? There's studies attached to each of those, so you can feel confident it's going to help. I've also put the list of over 40 studies that I used to create this talk, along with web links, so you can click and have a look and have a read and see where I'm getting this information from. Now, time-wise, if you're interested, I've created a 12-module course. Last year I did it as 8 modules, and I've expanded it to be 12 modules covering everything from using hypnosis with cancer, cellular immunity, terminal care, trauma and the relationship between trauma, the immune system, and disease, pain, autoimmune conditions, asthma, allergies, menopause, fertility, all of the health stuff that we're kind of standing on shaky ground if we try and work with this hypnotherapist. And my goal is to help you guys work alongside GPs, oncologists, naturopaths, people that you can actually support the work that they do with your clients. Now, yes, I am here to tell you something today because I want you with me in this fight. If any of you are interested in doing this course, it's usually $3,500, $2,500 early bird, but for the weekend here, I'm making it $1,897 because you've got to do cheap stuff for conference, right? Now, if you book it in the next 3 days, I'm going to give you a year of supervision. What does that mean? Every month for a year after you finish the course, you can come to me and I'm going to guide you on how to work with your clients. I'm going to help you, okay? All you need to do in the next 3 days, if you're interested, is email me, or on the back of the card, the right-hand QR code has a link where you can deposit only $197. That's it. And you can pay the rest off over a year. So $1,897 over a year, the rest of it's like 30-something dollars a week, right? So if you're interested, go ahead and book that, or give me an email or a call if you've got questions. So thanks for listening, guys. I'm going to take some questions. So over to you, I guess. Let's dive in. Yeah. With what? Sorry, the oh, this one that I just did. Oh, look, I'm very different from maybe some of the old school ways of doing hypnosis, and for many years, I've just done things my way, and so I just do it on anyone. I will always ask my clients spirituality. It's one of the first questions I ask. I want to know. I want to know what model I'm working from, and then I work within that model. It's not going to work with everyone. Some people are not spiritual at all. They don't find their way into my clinic. They just don't appear. I'm generally referral based. So once I've got one client, I'll get another one and another one. I would not be using prayer with someone that doesn't believe in a higher power. But I think the metaphor of light and things like that is helpful. I like using the whooshing and the energy stuff as well. I just use that with anybody because whenever I do it, they come out going, oh my God, I feel amazing. Like nobody ever cringes if you don't cringe. So demographic, my main is maybe 35-year-old women would be my main demographic. I mean, that would be like if my main one, around a mother with children around that age. But obviously I work with young children. A lot of people send me the kids, like especially the neurodivergent kids, because I'm really good at working with them. I'm a little bit like one myself. So get great results. And then, right up to I've got an 88-year-old client for, well, I won't tell you what it's for, but it's my clinic right now. So yeah. What other questions have we got? We've got 1 more minute. 4 more minutes. What are the questions?
So what reaction do you get from the medical doctors when you say I'm going to work alongside you, the oncologist, the
It's been universally positive. I have not had somebody, because it's all in the framing. I never say, hey, your client doesn't want chemo, I'm going to help them. It's not like that. It's like, actually, now you're getting your surgery because I helped you remove your fear. So it's the opposite. Whenever I'm dealing with somebody's GP, their oncologist, I get their details and I contact them directly. I refer to them as their patient, always in the email, and ask for permission and tell them exactly, specifically what I want to do and why. And I'll even say things, and we might just throw some visualizations that the cancer will go, is that okay? Now, I'm not expecting that to work, but I believe when you do spiritual work, that it leaves space for miracles to happen. And I've read enough stories about it that I believe there's a space for it. But what I know I'm working on is their nervous system, their levels of stress, their levels of cortisol, and their ability to cope. And GPs are always open to that, I think. Would that be correct? Yeah. Not a task. Of course. Yeah.
Is that since Gove is true now, important that the immune system is, because people with their immune system got less Gove have. It's the same like Parkinson's disease, MS, COPD, it's all now recognized a lot as immune.
Yep, exactly.
The role about how many times a day, cortisol and adrenaline peaks, every time that call comes in. And she's saying how, that can't be good for you, that, and over time, how much toll that will take. Just being in a police car, waiting for the radio, adrenaline goes down, goes up, and it's happening constantly every day over a period of time.
I think you can reassure her, because I'm quite sure that we're designed that way. We're designed to be activated, but to come back to balance. So that ring that monitors your heart rate? Tell her to get a Fitbit or one of those, and then she can actually...
She's got a new job now.
Oh, she's changed her job. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about that. The problem generally is with chronic long-standing stress that doesn't go away. Think your anxious types, where the stress is just always ever present, because when you come back to balance, after shit, go to this call. Okay, now we're finished. Let's have some chips. And you're sitting in your car relaxing. Yes. Exactly. It's that's what it's all about, because cortisol is balancing, right? But when it's always there, that's when there's a rebound. But if it goes away and comes and goes, it's safe. So my point of view is that, and actually, even if it's always there are studies showing that giving hugs and cuddling will actually mitigate the effects of it. So even if it's always going to be there, give somebody, like say after a trauma or a bad accident, give somebody a sense of control and give them hugs. But no, I see why she would think it was dangerous, and I would have thought that, but my present understanding, and I'm open to being corrected, is that it's perfectly fine. Oops. Okay, I've got time for one more. Well, it's a good 12 sessions, 4 to 12. I don't like to see anybody for less than 4, because with deep stuff, we're going to do investigation. And then, but it could be over, somebody's going through surgery, chemo. So if you do the course, you make your money back on your first client, like guaranteed, as long as you're doing good work and they're sticking with you. That's our time just now, but if Justine's open to it, I would love to organize, I'm going to organize a Zoom, and if you'd like to help with that. And thank you, because I'd love to take all your most grunty questions, like all the difficult ones, like bring all the hard cases to me, and I'll come and we'll do a meetup. Cool, thanks very much, guys.